Hello everybody, today I'm going to give you a tour of my craft room. I'm starting out with our little tour guide down there, Scrappy. Hello Scrappy. I did shoot this video. I know I said I'd upload it last week when I was done shooting the last cross-stitch update video I did for you guys. However, when I tried to edit it, the camera was so shaky and I moved around way too much when I was editing it. I actually got nauseous because it was moving so much. I got like motion sickness, so I decided I was going to wait and shoot it again. So you want to give him a tour? He's so funny. He's always sitting like that. So I'm going to try to make this really quick and painless because this could go on forever. And then next week I hope to bring you another whips video. I have some progress to show you, and hopefully I'm going to have one really big finish. So here we go with the tour. So what you're looking at up ahead of us is where I have my cross-stitch stash. I showed you guys that back in the beginning of spring, I think. And then under there is just these really cool like shelves that I got online. I think I got those from wayfair.com. They were relatively inexpensive and they have all sorts of crafty stuff inside of them. I'll go through really quick what's inside all those little bins because it's exciting. I like to see what other people have, and we can look at the stash really quick. There's a few things I wanted to show you guys that I didn't show you yet. I'll also show you the room. I don't really like the color of this room, that's my only gripe, but I am lucky to have such a large room for my craft room. This is actually out in my garage. Believe it or not, the man finished the garage that we bought the house from, so it would be extra living space, and I claimed this room as my craft room. Like I said, I don't like the colors. They're like mannish. It was his office, so I'm going to change them eventually. So like I said, over here in these bins I have my cross-stitch stash, my kitted up things, and these little bin things. I have this little box. I showed it in my cross-stitch stash video. These are my patterns. One's from magazines, and I actually keep all of my charts in here now too, just to keep them nice and straight, and I find that works really well. This is one thing I want to show you guys. I showed you these buttons in my last video, but I don't think I showed you these ones quite well. They were out of frame, so I just wanted to show you these really quick. I did find a really cool cross-stitch pattern that focuses on buttons, so I think I'm gonna maybe give it a shot and do that one and put some of these buttons in that. I'll show you guys that in my next video. This is Utter Cream. It just sits in here because I have this all throughout my house. This is really good cream for your hands if you're a stitcher because it's not greasy, it doesn't leave residue. There are other stitching creams out there made for stitchers, but it's very expensive. This is inexpensive. It's like $1.88 maybe. In here, stitching fabric. So that's where I keep my fabric and my finishes. I just have laying here from the last time I showed you guys. I am going to be finishing these very soon, framing them and making that into a little wall hanging. So I just have them laying in there for now. I know I should be keeping them in plastic, but I have towels in there to cross stitch and all that good stuff. So in this one over here I have more of these paired up, kitted up projects to do. These ones I got in Maine, I just showed you guys. And back here I have my magazines, my cross-stitch magazines, and some leaflets. And also I keep my finished charts in here. Some people ask me if I'm ever going to sell these or if I want to sell them to them on YouTube. I'm going to wait until I have a ton of them to sell maybe on a lot on eBay. I also want to see if my sister-in-law wants to do any of them first, so that's why I'm not selling them right now. One other little thing I keep in here that I want to show you guys is I got this thing from Crazy Annie Stitching, and this is just cross-stitch. You can see collection 2001 to 2010. This is every magazine they had from that period of time. So you get that many magazines in this CD or CD-ROM. It says on a DVD, but it's like a CD-ROM you put in your computer, and you can print off all the projects they've ever had in all of these magazines, including all of the Christmas ornament magazines. See, 10 years of Christmas issues. So That's why I got that. It was $40 when I purchased it, which for that much money, I think it was well worth it just for the Christmas ornaments, because they're very collectible, and those magazines, and I really like doing them. So I want to show you guys that. Okay, so in here are my flosses, and I showed you guys those before. I just keep them on bobbins in a plastic box. And on top of here, these are my whips that I'm not currently working on. I showed you those last time. So one's in this bag and one's in that bag. And this little thing, if you're curious, is just a magnifier that goes on my lamp, my daylight lamp, I think it's called, that I cross-stitch with. This last box here is really not cross-stitch, it's just extra containers that I keep in my craft room to put stuff in. You see bobbin boxes and little, you know, bead boxes. Those aren't open because I bought way too many. I thought I needed more than I actually did. But, you know, little Pampers wipes box that I just held on to keep things in here to keep it organized. So because I like to talk a lot and this is getting to be a long video already, I'll just go through what's under here really quick, and I'll try to keep it as steady as possible so I don't make you guys seasick. You'll see these little open areas of the shelves. In that little container there are just pictures that I want to scrapbook with. Under here we have some catalogs, cross-stitching catalogs, and jewelry making catalogs. On top of there is a little felt applique stocking I picked up in Maine. It was $15 but 70% off, so I grabbed it up to do it maybe for my son this year, or, you know, just to hang around the house. I have an extra travel bead box for jewelry making there, and all those magazines there I give to my niece and my sister-in-law when I'm done with them. And in that last one I just have some labels, because I like labeling things, and invoices for beads that I've gotten. I've made some jewelry and I think I might sell it one day, maybe on Etsy or at craft fairs, so I hold on to the invoices so I can keep track of how much it costs to make things. He is just loving this. You just love this, don't you? He loves laying like that. Yeah, you love it. In the actual things here, I'll just point to this first one. I know I have plastic bags in there. I keep the bags that, you know, patterns come in or fabrics come in, just to, so I could actually kit things up like this. So that's all in there. This one's empty. Up in here I have some DMC cards to hold flosses. And down in this one down here is my little center to make Christmas ornaments. You know, cross-stitch ornaments. I have fabric and ribbon and all that stuff. This bottom one is just my glue gun and glue sticks. This middle one, I can just tell you guys, is full of fabrics. I have fat quarters, small pieces of fabrics to make ornaments with cross-stitch, scrap fabric, all that just to sew with or whatever I need to make it with. So that's in there. It's not very interesting. If you really want to see my fabrics, I can show you guys, but to save time, I'm not going to go through all of them. So we're at the last little stacked drawers things, whatever you want to call them. In this one, I know I have mostly jewelry making supplies. Down here, I know I keep photographs for scrapbooking. This one I keep scrapbooking supplies in, just to, if I ever want to make scrapbooks. It's something I was interested in a while back, but I was never very good at it. I might give it a shot one day again. We'll see. Up in here, in this one, is the one on the top. I know I have my gun to actually frame cross stitches with. I told you guys about it. That's what it looks like. That gun. And I have some, you know, yarn, and that's the thread you use to frame the cross stitches with. And down here are all beads. These are just, you know, not very expensive junky beads and findings that I practice making jewelry with. And here are my seed beads, my mixed beads. Some nice ceramic beads that I got that I don't know what to do with, so I just put them in here. Peanut beads. And in this one is most of my findings. I have ear wires and jump rings, and in here is just head pins and whatever else in these boxes. In this corner, it looks like a mess, but it's just frames that I bought at like yard sales. The foam core board to do framing for cross stitch, and that backing paper. That's my cross stitch frame that I can't use right now. People have asked if I want to sell that on YouTube, but I don't right now because I might want to use it one day. On this first pegboard, I have hanging jewelry supplies. I've accumulated all this stuff over many, many, many years. I was really into jewelry making before I got married, and then I stopped doing it, and I picked it up again, I would say in the beginning of spring this year. Some of this stuff my mom gave me, like that wildfire up there, some beads, and all that good stuff. On this pegboard you can see I have my hoops for cross stitch. These are just little necklaces I bought at the fair, but I bought them to use the seed beads. And this is Nymo. This is seed bead thread. I didn't have room over there for it, so I put it up here. I also have tape. This is tape for the gun that frames the cross stitches. Packing tape, scrapbook tape. These are all my Swarovski crystals to make jewelry with, or decorate, you know, Christmas ornaments or whatever you want to do. You can even decorate cross stitch with it. Swarovski pearls. Down here I keep my scissors and my pinking shears. In the middle is the table that I craft at sometimes. In the middle is usually my jewelry making work in progress, and I usually come in here and work on this when my son's doing homework and he needs a quiet place to do it. We'll come in here and he can do homework, and this is what I'm working on right now. It's just a flat spiral bracelet. And that's all the supplies I needed to work on that. And that's the little travel box I like to put jewelry making stuff in when I want to, you know, work on it outside or something. I got some gum, and this little guy is a tape measure actually. See? His little butt comes out and he's a tape measure. And you just push him and it goes back in. Back there are just beading supplies and little yogurt cups I kept to do beading in, and here are my beads. I'm not going to pull them all out obviously, but I have, you know, a good variety of beads. Over time I've collected all these. These are more buttons. I know lots of people on here love buttons, and those are buttons to make jewelry with. So I got a good variety. I know you guys are saying, I didn't know you made jewelry, but when we get over to the next pegboard, we'll see what I made. So over here is just my sewing table. That swings out, that bottom panel there, and you can sit there and sew, and there's my sewing machine. I have a bottle of acetone there because I needed it to take adhesive off of something. On here is just, let me move my sewing box. These little drawers, and this is just some acrylic flower beads. In this one, this one I keep my leather cord in to make jewelry with. It says leather cord. And in here I actually have some finished bracelets that I've made. I had nowhere else to keep them, so I kept them in here. My dog is crying because he hears the other dogs out there. He regrets his decision to come in here now. So this last pegboard I have here is where I hang earrings and some other things that I made. You know, back when I got not feeling so well, I decided I wasn't going to stitch and I was going to make jewelry. So here's some of the things I made. These little bracelets are adorable. They're just little charm bracelets, and they're memory wire. Like I said, one day I just maybe open an Etsy shop, or I was intending to go to a craft fair, but my hands got really sore from using pliers and everything, so I didn't make enough to go to the craft fair. So I might open an Etsy shop, or, you know, gifts. The holidays are coming up, give away gifts. I don't know, we'll see. The last thing I have is this, it's like a china cabinet from my old house, and I just keep things in here. This is stuff that really needs to be put somewhere else or hung on the wall. These are pretty neat knitting needles. I don't knit, but These were my grandmother's. They're very old and they're still in the package. She kept everything when she was done using it in the package like this. And I want to make them maybe in a shadow box and put it on the wall somehow. I have books down here, you can see, and a jar of old buttons, some Beanie Baby. This is my lost bead tray. And in this little drawer, my son's school supplies and a watercolor painting set that I wanted to try watercolor painting one day. We'll see if that happens. In this one I have my seashells, because I like to put seashells out when it's summer to decorate my house. And in the drawers down there are books and scrapbooks and all that good stuff, and I'm probably not going to go into that very much. But that's basically it, and I hope you guys enjoyed my tour of my craft room. I'm going to walk over here really quick so you can see the one painting I have in here is this. This used to hang in my living room in my old house, and now this is its home. So that was my craft room tour, and I hope you guys enjoyed that, and Scrappy's going to say goodbye now. Say goodbye, Scrappy. Say goodbye. Say goodbye. Okay, guys, I hope to see you maybe next week to do another whip update video, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!